Hey there, English learners. Welcome to English in Flow, the podcast that makes learning English fun, fearless, and totally doable. I'm Emily, your host for today, and I've got a question that might hit close to home. Have you ever felt your heart race, your palms sweat, and your mind go blank the moment you had to speak English? Like when a waiter asked for your order and you just pointed at the menu in panic? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. I'm joined by a fantastic guest who's here to help us conquer that fear. Say hello, Michael.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michael, and I'm so excited to be here with Emily. I used to be terrified of speaking English. I'd freeze up, stumble over words, and worry everyone was judging me. But I found ways to overcome that fear, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's dive in.
I love that honesty, Michael. Today, we're tackling a topic that holds so many English learners back. Why are people afraid to speak English? We'll uncover the surprising reasons behind this fear, like worrying about mistakes or being judged, and share practical tips to turn that fear into confidence. We've got personal stories, a vocabulary spotlight, a fun challenge to boost your speaking, and a free PDF with all our tips in the description. So grab a cozy spot and let's face this fear together. Ready, Michael?
I'm ready, Emily. Let's help our listeners break free from fear and start speaking English with confidence. Where should we start?
Let's start with the big question. Why are so many people afraid to speak English? I know I've felt that fear. Like when I tried to ask for directions in London and ended up saying, street? Because I was so nervous.
Oh, I've been there too. One of the biggest reasons people are afraid is the fear of making mistakes. We worry that if we say something wrong, like using the wrong word or grammar, we'll look silly or confuse the listener. I remember when I first started learning English, I'd avoid speaking because I thought, what if I mess up? It stopped me from practicing, which is the best way to improve.
That's such a common fear. I used to think the same. Like if I said I goed instead of I went, everyone would laugh. But the truth is, mistakes are part of learning, right? Why else do you think people get so scared?
Another big reason is the fear of being judged. Many learners feel like others will think less of them if they don't speak perfectly, like they'll be seen as less smart or capable. A study from the University of California found that 60% of language learners feel anxious about being judged for their accent or grammar. I felt that too. I was so nervous about my accent that I'd stay quiet in group conversations.
I can totally relate. I remember being at a party where everyone was speaking English, and I stayed silent because I thought, my accent sounds so different. They'll judge me. But most people are more understanding than we think, right? What's another reason for this fear?
Another reason is the lack of opportunities to practice speaking. If you don't get to speak English regularly, the fear builds up because it feels unfamiliar. For example, if you only speak English once a month, it's hard to feel comfortable. You're out of practice, and that makes you more nervous. I used to live in a small town with no English speakers around, so I'd go weeks without speaking, and my fear just grew.
That makes so much sense. It's like trying to ride a bike after years. You're wobbly at first because you haven't done it in so long. I've noticed that when I don't practice speaking English for a while, I get more hesitant. So, how can we overcome this fear of making mistakes? It's such a big barrier.
The first step is to embrace mistakes as part of your journey. Every mistake you make, like saying the wrong word, shows you what you need to improve. Think of it like a map. Each mistake points you in the right direction. I learned this when I accidentally said, "I'm boring," instead of "I'm bored" in a conversation. My friend laughed, but then she corrected me, and I never forgot the difference.
That's such a great way to look at it. I've had funny moments too. Like when I said, "I'm chicken" instead of "I'm scared," and my friend thought I was calling myself a bird. We laughed so hard, and it actually made me feel more relaxed about speaking. What's another way to get over this fear?
Another way is to focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate every small win, like saying a full sentence without pausing or having a short chat with someone in English. A study from the University of Oxford found that celebrating small successes in language learning boosts confidence by 25%. I started doing this. I'd cheer for myself every time I used a new phrase, like "Nice job, Michael."
I love that celebration idea. I remember the first time I ordered a coffee in English without stumbling. I felt like I'd won a gold medal. It really does build confidence. Let's talk about the fear of being judged. How can we stop worrying about what others think?
One way is to remember that most people aren't judging you. They're actually impressed by your effort. When I studied abroad, I was so nervous about my English, but a classmate told me, "I love that you're trying. It's inspiring." That made me realize people appreciate the courage it takes to speak a new language. So, shift your focus. Instead of thinking, "They'll judge me," think, "They'll admire my effort."
That's such a powerful mindset shift. I had a similar experience. I was at a market trying to buy fruit in English, and I mixed up apples and oranges. The seller smiled and helped me, saying, "You're doing great." It made me feel so supported. What's another tip to stop worrying about judgment?
Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you, like friends, family, or a language partner who cheers you on. Their positive feedback can help you feel safe to speak. I joined an English chat group online, and everyone was so kind. They'd say, "Great try," even when I stumbled. It made me feel so much braver.
That's a fantastic tip. I've found that practicing with supportive people, like my best friend who's also learning English, makes me less scared. We laugh at our mistakes together, and it feels so safe. Now, let's talk about the lack of practice opportunities. How can we create more chances to speak English?
One great way is to join a language club or group. They're perfect for regular practice. You can find them in your community or online, like on apps or social media. I joined a local English conversation club, and we'd meet weekly to chat about random topics, like movies or food. It was low pressure, and I made friends who helped me improve.
I love that idea. I found an online language group on a platform where we talk about our favorite books in English. It's so fun, and I've learned so many new words. What's another way to create speaking opportunities?
You can create your own practice moments by speaking English in everyday situations, like ordering food, asking for directions, or even chatting with a cashier. I started doing this at my local bakery. I'd say, "Can I have a croissant, please?" And the staff were so friendly. It gave me a little boost every time.
That's such a practical idea. I'm going to try that at my favorite cafe. I'll say, "Can I have a latte, please?" and see how it goes. Let's share a new, creative way to practice speaking, something we haven't talked about before. What's your idea?
Here's a fun one. Play a word scavenger hunt game. Pick a theme, like things in your room, and for 3 minutes, speak in English about everything you see that fits the theme. For example, "I see a lamp, it's silver. There's a pillow, it's soft." It's a playful way to practice describing things without pressure. I do this with my desk items, and it's so much fun.
That's such a creative game. I'm trying that. I'll pick things in my kitchen and say, "I see a kettle, it's black. There's a plate, it's round." What a fun way to practice. My idea is to create a talking jar. Write down simple topics, like my favorite movie or a fun memory. On small papers, put them in a jar, and pick one each day to talk about for 2 minutes in English. It's like a mini speaking adventure.
I love that talking jar idea. I'm adding topics like my dream vacation and a funny moment. It'll make practicing so exciting. Let's do a vocabulary spotlight to help our listeners talk about speaking English in English. Want to start?
Let's do it. Here are 5 words they can use. First up, afraid. It means feeling scared or nervous, like, I'm afraid to speak English. It's great for describing fear. What's the second word?
Next is mistake. It means something you do wrong, like, I made a mistake in my sentence. It's perfect for talking about learning. What's the third word?
The third word is confident. It means feeling sure of yourself, like, I feel confident speaking English. It's key for describing progress. What's your next word?
I'll go with practice. It means to do something regularly to improve, like, I practice speaking English daily. It's useful for talking about routines. What's our last word?
Let's end with improve. It means to get better at something, like I improve my English every day. It's a great way to talk about growth. Listeners, try using these words, like, I'm afraid of mistakes. It's a fun way to practice speaking. I love that. Let's give them a challenge to use these words and practice their English. What do you have in mind?
Here's the challenge. This week, have a 2-minute English conversation with a friend, family member, or even by yourself. Talk about why you're afraid to speak English and how you'll improve. Then, write a sentence about it, using at least 2 of our spotlight words, like, I'm afraid to speak, but I practice to improve. Share your sentence in the comments below. It's a great way to practice and connect with us. What do you think?
Perfect. I'd add, don't worry if you feel nervous, just try. Like, I made a mistake, but I'm more confident now. Listeners, we can't wait to read your sentences in the comments. Okay, let's wrap up with a quick recap of what we've covered.
Sounds good. We explored why people are afraid to speak English, fear of mistakes, being judged, and lack of practice. We shared tips like embracing mistakes, focusing on progress, surrounding yourself with supportive people, joining language clubs, and creating practice moments with games like a word scavenger hunt or a talking jar.
Nailed it. We also had our vocabulary spotlight with afraid, mistake, confident, practice, and improve, plus a challenge to speak and share a sentence. The big takeaway? Don't let fear stop you. Every mistake, every word, every moment you speak brings you closer to fluency. Listeners, what's one way you'll practice speaking this week? Share it in the comments.
I bet they'll love the talking jar. Oh, and don't forget, we've got a free PDF with all our spotlight words, tips, and exercises to help you speak with confidence. Grab it from the link in the description. It's a total game changer.
Great plug. While you're there, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any English in Flow episodes. We're here to help you flow through English with ease. Any final words for our amazing listeners?
Just this, your voice is powerful. Don't be afraid to use it. Speak a little every day, celebrate your progress, and watch your fear fade away. Thanks for joining us today.
Couldn't agree more. All right, everyone, that's it for this episode. Keep speaking, keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you soon.
Take care and keep flowing with English.